LeBron James was just 1 point shy of 50,000 points in the regular season. And he gets to 50K last night. The Lakers just continue to put together quality game after quality game. And this 50,000 point club is pretty astounding. The Lakers got their 7th win in a row on Tuesday. LeBron James and Luka Doncic continue to build that chemistry. Luka and LeBron, they combined for 64 points. The Lakers got a comfortable dub over the Pelicans, 136-115. It was the Luka show for most of the night. Doncic, 17 first quarter points, ended with 30 points, 15 dimes, 8 rebounds. And you got to love the fact that he joined the company of LeBron James, Jerry West, and Magic Johnson for only players for the Lakers to have 30 points and 15 assists. By the way, Magic doing it 19 times. Just incredible. But we'll start with LeBron James. So LeBron, 33 minutes, had 34 points, 8 boards, 6 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks. And what more is there left to say about LBJ? Well, pretty much the only thing for LeBron James at this point is he going to go down as the greatest basketball player of all time? Well, Stephen A. Smith had some very interesting comments. Someone who's been a lifelong Jordan goater. Well, here's what he said about LeBron James and the GOAT conversation this morning on First Take.
Been absolutely phenomenal. I'm going to sit up here today, although he annoyed the living hell out of me last week with, with all of that nonsense he was talking. In the end, the greatness that he has put on display for as long as he has put on display. I'll even go a step further, knowing how I feel about Jordan, and I think anybody that knows basketball agrees with me. I actually think it's time to not even have the debate anymore, because that's how great LeBron James has been for as long as he has been that great. I can stand down and acknowledge that, because this is absolutely phenomenal. But it's not the 50,000 points. It's not even the way he's looked last night. It's not even the way he's looked this month. It's the fact that I'm watching this brother with Anthony Davis, without Anthony Davis, with Luka, without Luka. I mean, this dude right here, and I'm looking at a guy at 40 years of age who's in better shape than 98% of the league, if not more, at age 40 in his 22nd season. LeBron James, especially on a morning like this, deserves all the props in the world, and I'm going to give it to him.
So you got Stephen A. Smith saying but not saying that he has LeBron James as the GOAT. Look, you look at last night, 50,000 career points. After finishing with that just 1 point shy, he does get to 50K on that three-pointer. And you look at the distance he has over Kareem Abdul-Jabbar right now, it's 5,000 points. The closest active player to LeBron is Kevin Durant, who is 15,000 points away from LBJ. And for me, I think Stephen A. Smith is the GOAT of just continuing the GOAT debate, because everyone's so tired of Jordan versus LeBron. For me, I still think that LeBron James is the second best player in the history of basketball. The reason I feel that way is, what is Michael Jordan the best at? Michael Jordan is undeniably, objectively the best scorer in the history of basketball. He leads all players with a 30.1 points per game average. He leads all players with a 33.4 playoff average. And then on top of that, you compare LeBron James to Michael Jordan. Jordan was the better scorer, and Jordan was the better defender. Jordan, a 9-time all-defensive first-team selection. He was named the Defensive Player of the Year. He won 3 straight steals titles. He was the 3rd highest steals per game average in NBA history. Jordan also had the 2nd most career blocks by any NBA guard. So the only issue I have with having LeBron James ahead of Michael Jordan is, if you needed LeBron to pass MJ in points, and you needed LeBron to pass MJ in other statistical categories that were counting stats, then why weren't you already having LeBron ahead of MJ when it was Karl Malone that had more points, or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar that had more points? The truth of the matter is when it comes to the all-time great debate, I think it really boils down to, for me, who was better on the biggest stage? And the truth of the matter is, hey, LeBron James leads the NBA in Game 7 scoring in the history of the playoffs. Michael Jordan's like, what's a Game 7? Because no Jordan finals ever went to Game 7. And I think the biggest difference between the two is this. When you look at Michael Jordan and you look at LeBron James and you look at the overall PER, Jordan's on top from advanced statistics as far as who was the best player at his very peak. The best version of Michael Jordan is better than the best version of LeBron James. Michael Jordan, the best scorer of all time. Is LeBron the best scorer of all time? No, he's not. Michael Jordan, a better defender? He is. LeBron James is a better passer than Michael Jordan, but is LeBron James the best passer of all time? No, he's not. Magic Johnson is. And then you look at the moments. It took Michael Jordan 4 finals appearances to win 4 finals. It took LeBron James 10 finals appearances to win 4 finals. And then look at 2 of those 4 finals for LeBron. One of them, the Ray Allen Golden Rope game. Who bricked the 3 before Ray Allen drained the 3? It was LeBron. Who hit the biggest shot when the Cavs beat the Warriors? It was Kyrie. So I think when you look at greatness, the truth of the matter is all of Michael Jordan's 6 titles, he was the guy that hit the biggest shots in those games. You look at LeBron James's, who has the most walk-off shots in history? It's Michael Jordan with 9, right? So I think that basketball is a game that's won in the final 5 minutes. It's won in the final 2 minutes. And I don't think there's anyone out there that would say that they would rather have the ball in LeBron James's hands other than Michael Jordan's hands. Is there anyone that has seen the moments, looked at the stats, watched with your eye test that would say that you would rather have the ball in Michael Jordan's hands over LeBron James's hands? Look at the Olympics. Who hit the big shots down the stretch the last time the USA won the gold medal? It was Steph Curry. In the Redeem team against Beijing, who hit the shots? It was Kobe Bryant. Michael Jordan didn't lose in college. He didn't lose in the Olympics, and he didn't lose in the NBA Finals. If he didn't get bored, he would be 8-0 in the finals. So that's what it comes down to me. Greatness is ultimately decided by what a player does on the biggest stage, on the brightest lights. And I still think that LeBron James 100% has had the longest, best career, but the advanced analytics will tell you that Jordan's peak was higher. If you're looking at counting stats based on a league that's easier to score in now, that shoots more threes now, of course he's going to score more points. But Michael Jordan scored more points per game than LeBron James did. So there's nothing against LeBron James. I think LeBron is clear-cut the best all-around player that the game has ever seen. If you combine Magic and you put a little Jordan in there and you did a little this and that, then I think you get LeBron James. But here's the thing. In the 2011 NBA Finals, the NBA Finals against a Mavericks team that the Heat were favorites against, LeBron averaged 17.8 points per game, 7.2 rebounds, and 6.8 assists. He shot 47%. I don't think people remember that people were saying that LeBron James didn't want to shoot. He did not want to shoot. And then you look at Michael Jordan's finals averages and everything he did. He was 6 for 6 in the NBA Finals. 6 for 6. There's no comparison. I mean, you look at the finals career points per game. Michael Jordan, 33.6 points per game. LeBron James, 28.4 points per game. There's not one person out there that can look you in the eye and say LeBron James was better in the finals than Michael Jordan was in the finals. There's not one person that could say LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan in the Olympics and that LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan in college. He didn't go to college. Michael hit the game-winning shot. So counting stats aside, it's still Michael Jordan over LeBron in my book. LeBron is universally respected. Jordan universally feared. And that's just the truth of the matter is. But Noel, what are your thoughts?
Man, by every generation, it's going to continue to get tougher. And I think the track that LeBron is on right now, it's super interesting because, he was kind of thrown the perfect path now, getting Luka on his team. And we've had conversations about this a number of times that, if LeBron James can win another ring as like a clear-cut best player in that series, that kind of changes everything. The only reason I bring that up is because we still see the level he's playing at right now. There was a little bit of father time that came in early this year where he was having a really rough stretch, missing a lot of threes, looked a little slower. But ever since Luka came in, it's like he's playing with this new gear. He kicked in like a 27 gear we didn't know he still had. And, you know, I'm not saying by any means, I'm not predicting the Lakers to go out there and win the title, but Doug, if they win the title this year and LeBron James is playing at a level that we've seen him play at before, that might tip the scale for me.
And here's the thing. I actually am fine. Like, here's the thing. If people have LeBron, it's like if your GOAT is your GOAT in your mind, nothing that anyone can tell you is probably going to change that opinion, right? Like, there's nothing I'm going to tell you that's going to change your opinion or vice versa, right? Because that's just kind of how people hold that GOAT debate within themselves. But I think for LeBron James, he's already won. Yeah. He's already won because this is a legitimate debate at this point. Yeah. This is a legitimate conversation. As much of a MJ evangelist and truther as I am, I can still respect people that have LeBron as their GOAT. Like, if we're talking about like the best pop star of all time, no one's trying to say like Chris Brown is better than Michael Jackson or Bruno Mars, right? That, like, no one's trying to say that stuff. But it's a legitimate argument because of how good he's been, for how long he's been. The thing is, for me, it's tough because if he does win a title this year, Luka has been, as good as LeBron has been, Luka, especially in the last couple of games, has been better than LeBron, right? And Jordan's never been the second best player on his own team.
No, that's a great point as well.
But that's.
But I'll give you the floor, J-Rob. What is your?
You want to hear? Oh, I thought you wanted.
Give me your best. Give me your number one reason why you think LeBron is the GOAT over MJ.
I mean, ultimately, when it comes to the expectations to what he was supposed to be versus what he's done, I think he's more than cleared it, man. And
no doubt about that.
I think too, the reality is, you know, you call yourself Michael Jordan truther, but I also think your era didn't have First Take and didn't have the internet and didn't have Michael Jordan under a microscope. When Michael Jordan was the only player who can lose in 8 straight first rounds of the playoffs. And nobody remembers that. Everybody acts like that never happened, where he was getting stomped out by the Pistons and the Boston Celtics and he couldn't get out of the first round because everybody just acknowledged what his greatness was. Like, you came up here and straight up said that he's taken every game-winning shot in his playoff career. Did you forget about John Paxson in 1993? Did you forget about Steve Kerr in 1997?
The difference is he makes those. When LeBron passes the court, he mixes it.
You see how the goalpost moves a little bit.
It didn't move at all.
It is.
He attracted the double.
Your statement was, the other guys have hit shots for Michael Jordan. He's been allowed to. Didn't his head coach at the time, Phil Jackson, tell him, who's open right now? And he had to say on the clipboard, Paxson, you have to pass the ball to be great. LeBron's the greatest all-around player in the history of the game's ever seen. I'd argue
he's not better during defense.
Is Michael Jordan a better scorer than Kevin Durant all time?
Of course he is.
That's debatable to you, though.
The averages say
you can ask a lot of people
in a league where it's easier to score.
But you could ask
Jordan
a lot
probably
of people.
averaged 40 today.
A lot of people will tell you, and his peers in the NBA will say, well, they think Kevin Durant is the greatest scorer to play the game. He's a better rebounder than Jordan. He's a better passer than Jordan. If you want to say he's a better on-ball defender, I could say maybe I'll concede that too. He's not a better overall defender than Michael Jordan because LeBron James, from the moment he came into the NBA, he was a first-team all-defensive player. Let's not forget, we gave Marc Gasol Defensive Player of the Year in the same year that he didn't make first-team all-defense. So it's like, I hear you're saying, and if you pick Michael Jordan as your GOAT, I will not argue it because, yes, listen, he deserves his argument. But I do feel like the points that we were making to derail LeBron, like, you know, not taking the game-winning shot. Well, who got them to a Game 7? Who's the best player to get them there? I mean, you could even go back to, you could say the block wasn't enough. Kyrie hit the shot, but they carried them to get there. Even with Ray Allen hitting that shot in Miami. Who scored every point to tie the basketball game? Or we get it within one. So I feel like when it comes to LeBron, you know, because it's such this tug of war with the Jordan GOAT debate, I feel like at times it's almost like we lessen the greatness of LeBron. Because I will say this, and before we get to our next topics, is Michael Jordan never seen a team like those Warrior teams. There's not a team close that he's played in his finals career that had Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Andre Iguodala, 5 Hall of Famers on one team. Then you had to do it twice. Like, Like, are we remembering this guy beat a team that had the best regular season record ever and was down 1-3? There's not a finals moment in the history of the NBA better than that. Not a comeback.
I mean, Draymond Green doesn't get suspended. They probably win that
two
series.
games after that? You got to play 2 more games after the suspension. That's not.
I'm not debating. I mean, I will definitely concede that Warriors team was, but it's tough.
It's close. It's a debate.
That Warriors team is, but I think for me, like what it boils down to, and this is nothing but respect and love for LeBron James. Yeah. I really think that what he's done in his career, there's 2 chairs at that table.
Facts.
Anyone who says Kobe's at that table, it's just not true, right? I mean, it's a 2-chair table, and it's LeBron James and it's Michael Jordan. Those are the only 2 guys at that table. Only thing I struggle with is just like, let's say you're doing like the 2-minute, like the 2-minute like Jordan montage versus like the 2-minute LeBron montage. Michael Jordan, Game 6, 1998 NBA Finals. He gets the basket. Then he comes weak side, steals the ball from Karl Malone, comes down the court, hits the game-winning shot on Byron Russell. Previous Finals 97, game winner. He absolutely dominated every single finals, except there was a stretch there against Seattle where Gary Payton was locking him up for a couple games, but that was a 72-win Bulls team. When you look at just the moments for Michael Jordan, the shot over Kevin Elo, I mean, I think for LeBron James, he lacks those game winner etched in your mind moments that Michael Jordan has. I mean, I think LeBron James' best moment was the game winner against the Magic in the Eastern Conference Finals in a series they almost lost. The game winner against the Bulls in that run that they had, the bank. Then
remember 2018, he had like 3 game winners on the road in 2018. Pacers, Raptors.
But like I said, like what is the so if you close your eyes and think what is LeBron James defining NBA Finals moment, what comes to mind?
The block.
So a play that wasn't the most important play in that game. Kyrie's shot was the most important play.
But that shot, that play wasn't.
It was. It was a close. It was second.
Then they went 5 minutes without scoring a bucket.
It was second, but it wasn't bigger than Kyrie's shot over Steph Curry that essentially won the final.
If he put down that poster on Draymond at the end, that would have been crazy.
So I'm just saying, like,
but my thing is when he took the shot, it was a tied game too. It's not like that shot they was down 1, and if he doesn't make this shot, they would have still got a chance at a possession. You get what I'm saying? Like it was a tie basketball game. And they couldn't score for 5 minutes. Nobody could hit a shot in the ocean. Do we not?
The chase down block's one of the great plays in NBA history for sure. But I also would say that it was the second most important play of that game. It was the shot, the block, and the stop when Kevin Love had the stop. But look, I mean,
it's close.
I'm just saying, like, so that what you would say. So the biggest moment for LeBron James' career in the finals is a block, not a shot made, not a shot made, not a pass.
Comeback is not a moment in itself. We're just talking about a specific play.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Specific play. Byron Russell. I mean, shrug.
That was a push up too.
But then the thing is like
that's a guy who knows all the tricks.
Like Game 6 in Boston, where he goes crazy. Like I feel like one play does not have to feel like a moment. You know what I'm saying? Like that was a master. Like I even think Jordan's games. I mean, I watched that footage of Jordan going for like 60.
Michael Jordan scored 63 in Boston against one of the best teams of all time.
And that to me is a full-blown moment. You know what I'm saying? Like he scored 60. That's the moment.
Yeah, no, look, when LeBron scored 51 and it was the J.R. Smith what the hell game, the 51 8-8. I mean, that's certainly okay. I'll tell you what I hate about these debates. I hate about these debates, and I have them in my brain. I have them sometimes with like friends and you guys stuff. Like I hate it because you have to discredit someone that is absolutely elite, and that you shouldn't have to discredit. And it's not like a discredit, but it's just like, hey man, we're talking about the gods here, right? So it's tough. But